What is up, my retro crew? Hope you guys are doing super amazing today. Today's an awesome day because I have a special guest today. We're doing a collaboration with Draco from Infinity Collectors, man. Oh, he's so awesome. His content's great. You guys get a chance, check him in the description below. You guys will like his content. He has a huge, massive collection of collectible figurines, and it's just pretty amazing. And today we're going to be talking about why video games have such a huge influence on our lives and what attributed to that to this point. Let's check it out. So without further ado, I'm actually gonna let Draco take the stage first. He's my special guest. Every time I have a special guest on a channel, I prefer for them to go first because it's always an honor to have somebody as a special guest on my channel. Draco, take it away.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Draco. I run Infinity Collectors and I collect a lot of different things, hence the Infinity Collectors name. Today I'm here to do a segment with RetroStylz, who asked me a question about retro video game collecting and how it influenced me and why I kind of do it as an adult and why I still love it and just kind of the whole adventure, I think, you know. I'm going to try to answer his question as best as I can. If you're not familiar with me, I collect a lot of different things. Like I said, hence the name. I do trading cards, action figures, a lot of Marvel Legends, arcade cabinets, you name it. Like I collect a bunch of different things, including retro video games. So I'm going to try to answer RetroStylz's question that he asked me as, actually, let me pull it up on my phone and I'll read exactly what he said. He said, why have video games had such a huge influence on you now as an adult? And what attributed to that influence up to this point? So like, you know, why are video games like still important to me as an adult, right? And I'm gonna kind of go through, I even had to like write down some stuff because like all these things started coming to mind about like why video games meant so much to me now in my adulthood and how it kind of came to that point. So I think we need to start from the beginning with Duck Hunt, Mario, Nintendo Entertainment System, and I think a lot of people started there, especially around my age group, and Nintendo just kind of made a household name with the 1985 console, and we didn't even have one actually. It's like you went over to a friend's house and someone else had one, and I played it like on my older sister. She's like 7 years older than me. Her friend had a NES, and when we went over their house, and I was like a little kid, like, and I got to play this when I was like, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 years old. I was like blown away that you could like shoot at the screen and shoot ducks and do all this kind of thing. And it was like just amazing to see like some like type of technology like that and whatnot. And so that was kind of like my first experience with games, and my first experience was like, wow, this is really cool, this is really fun. And then as I got a little older, I was born in like 87, so when I hit the 90s and you got the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis and all that great stuff, I didn't have a Super Nintendo, I was a Sega Genesis kid, and it's like, I wasn't, you know, my family wasn't fortunate enough to have like both consoles, so like Sega Genesis was it for me, and I kind of missed out on some of like, I would still like go to my friend's house because it was funny because like they didn't have a Sega Genesis, they had a Super Nintendo, right? And so I would play Mario over there and Super Mario World and Super Mario Kart and Star Fox and all that kind of stuff, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. At the same time I'm at home on my Sega Genesis playing you know, Sonic the Hedgehog and Vector Man and Toe Jam and Earl and all this other cool stuff. I actually pulled out some of my favorite Sega games. Like, I'm a big superhero buff. Obviously, I collect a lot of like superhero figures. I probably should have flipped the camera on because my retro figures are behind the camera right now, but I did pull out some that I really like Maximum Carnage is one of them. This is actually my red cartridge edition, my personal one. I think we've had this one since we were kids, and so that is my personal copy, the limited edition red cartridge. I loved this in arcades, and I loved when it came out for Sega Genesis. Captain America and the Avengers, Separation Anxiety, which was like Maximum Carnage 2, and you could do 2 players at the same time. Lotus 2 Racing, played a lot of that with my brother. Incredible Hulk, which was like an incredibly hard game, but was a ton of fun. That copy even has the poster in it and everything. Like I said, I'm a big superhero buff, so I loved all of them. The X-Men, the first one, the Spider-Man and Kingpin, I believe it was. Animated Spider-Man, I'm huge on Toy Biz, animated Spider-Man, animated X-Men. I loved NBA Jam and a lot of the other sports ones. Even as the PlayStation 1 came out, like, you know, NFL Blitz. We got Hydro Thunder. I love the Capcom Fighters, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. That's a legit awesome copy. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, how can you not love it? Courier Crisis was a hilarious, funny one that I really loved. Gotta love Tomb Raider 2. Treasures of the Deep. I only got a few more here. Intelligent Cube, and some others. So these are some of my favorite titles on Sega Genesis and PlayStation 1, and those were like huge in the 90s, including N64 was really, really big. And I think what really mattered to me was hanging out with my friends. I had a brother that was 4 years younger than me, and I always kind of had my player 2, right? And he was always kind of like player 2, and I was player 1, and we always were going on these journeys and adventures together. And kind of, you know, not to make it all sad and super personal, but like my father didn't spend a whole bunch of time with us, so you know, we didn't go outside and play catch or do, you know, he was working a lot, and he was too tired to hang out with us a lot, I guess. So we ended up playing video games a lot, or he gave us money to go get video games. So it was kind of, in a weird way, like the only way I kind of semi-bonded with my father and bonded with my brother was when we were all done outside playing, we'd come inside and play video games, and we had some more like bonding moments, and we got to go on these great adventures and everything together. So that was really, really cool. And you know, playing with friends and having these memories, and you know, there wasn't any online multiplayer back then in the 90s really, so like you know, people would come over and they would congregate and they would get together, and that's kind of what us human beings are built to do. And I think that's why like social media networking took off so much as well, is that we like to interact with each other, and like, you know, even though we're kind of behind screens now, but and a lot of good things came out of online multiplayer because it still brings a lot of people together. For instance, as I went through the years in the 90s and everything and playing video games and having these great moments and these great memories, and I still to this today, you know, remembering these moments with my brother and friends and family, and funny GoldenEye moments when people get mad or break a controller or something, or sleepovers and things like that in the 90s. Just a lot of good times, and I think the age I was and growing up and in the 90s and stuff like that, it was just a really, really fun time, and arcades and you name it and everything. As I got older, I got into PC gaming too, and I do retro PC gaming as well. I do pretty much everything, right? And so I love all this nerdy stuff and this gaming fun stuff. So one of my friends, Mike, who lives on the East Coast, I lost contact with him. We used to play video games since I was like 12 on the computer. And through my YouTube channel and doing a game room tour video, he actually found my game room tour video, and we were reunited, and now we stream together on Twitch and play games. And we hadn't seen each other or talked to each other in a long time. I've never personally met the guy, and we're actually making plans to meet in person, which is amazing, and soon, because I think like losing contact through the internet and then being reunited again through video games and retro video game tour I did on my YouTube channel, you know, it's like we want to make the best of it, and we, you know, love playing games with each other, and I would have never met him if I wasn't playing video games online. I would have never had these great memories if it wasn't for video games, you know, playing with my brother or my friends, or these great memories. And now with streaming, when you're recording it and everything too on Twitch or whatnot, or Mixer, like you can record these memories and make funny videos and share them on YouTube, and it's like, I feel like it's bringing people together more than ever, and I really like that. Metal Jesus was a great inspiration for me to start my YouTube channel, and a lot of people telling me and seeing my collection, and I loved when people's reactions coming into my room, and they were like, man, oh my god, this is bringing back so much fun memories, and I remember this, and they're just like mind blown, like putting in the cartridge and firing it up, and you know, taking them back in time. It's like going back in time. It's a powerful thing, and it was a really happy time for me playing video games as a kid and collecting and doing that kind of thing, and it just takes me back. It takes me back to that time. I walk into my room or I play that game and I'm like, woof, just so happy. It's really, really cool. So, and I think a lot of people share that. And you know, meeting RetroStylz and doing this segment and talking with him online and sharing different memories and pictures and games. I've met a lot of people in the retro gaming community on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm loving it, and I don't want to stop. I do a lot of action figure reviews on my YouTube channel right now, but excuse me, I'm going to start doing my retro video game collection stuff on my channel again as well. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of different things, and so sticking along the lines of why video games, you know, matter so much to me as an adult. I think as I went through the years with PC gaming and console gaming, and the graphics grew and the experiences grew and the online multiplayer grew, it just got better and better and have more funny moments and memories and everything like that. So, and I got some different topics here, like, let's see. So now that I'm older, I get to buy like consoles that I didn't have. Like I never had a Sega CD. Like, I'm gonna like totally grab this right now. When I was younger, I did not have a Sega CD. And so as I got older, I actually got a complete one in box, and I was so stoked. And I got all the games I didn't get to play as a kid, and now I get to play them. This is my nice copy in box, and then I have another Sega CD I actually play. But I got to actually get stuff that I didn't have or my parents couldn't afford. So now like the gaming stuff has an even bigger influence on me, like as an adult, because I'm having fun experiencing stuff that I didn't get to in the 90s, like it's the 90s still, or the early 2000s. And I mean, and then there's like an endless library of video games. You can never like finish like every video game ever. It's like trying to go visit every website on the internet. It's just not going to happen. I don't think you live long enough. So it's fun too to always have something to do and always have some journey to experience in a game. So yeah, so I get to play some consoles I didn't have. That's one example. I also think this is like random, and we're gonna hop around a little bit, I think, but like it makes you more intelligent. I feel like games were so hard back in the day. It taught you not to quit, to keep going, that life's not easy, and sometimes you only get 3 strikes and you're out, right? No more continues, no more life. So like, and they were hard and challenging, and to this day I still like hard, challenging stuff. Like I'll get on Hitman 2 or like you name it, whatever, some really like mentally challenging game, and like I'll try to figure it out or figure out the way to get this guy or get this challenge or defeat or whatever. So and I think it took that into my career and my life and influenced me as an adult, like in my job and things like that. I'm always striving you know, to survive and do better and, you know, kind of achieve stuff, right? So let's see. So another thing that happened when like people like grew up was like people stopped playing, and like I never got that, like you know, or people giving me crap for playing. I never got that either. I go to the gym, you know, I try to stay in shape, I eat healthy, like I go outside, I go hiking, I go kayaking, I go do stuff. People think I'm always playing video games and collecting, or stuck in my room making videos, and like I'm not. And so the other people like that stopped playing, it was kind of like, well, I lost something that connected me with you, you know, like now it's like they just go to work and go to the gym and come home and drink beer and go to sleep. And I find that a little bit more lame than like, not the going to the gym part, that's good, but like I find that a little bit more lame than actually getting to still experience these childhood memories and having fun with your friends. And so like me and my buddy Mike are in our 30s now, and we're still playing video games. And we were talking about how long we're going to be playing video games for, and it was like, man, we'll probably be playing until we're 50 or 60, you know, or till the day we die, because it's what we love to do. And I find it funny because there's some memes out there where it's like kids born in the 90s when they're 60, and it's like these 2 old guys going at it playing video games, and like that's exactly how I feel it's going to be. And it's cool because even now you get people that in the 70s and stuff, when they were kids, they played Atari and they played NES and all these different Commodores and different older consoles. And I play video games with people that are 50 now, and that's awesome. And that video games have been out so long that it still brings all these different ages and genders and races together, because we have this common love to experience these things and play these games together. So let's see. Oh yeah, and if you grow up and you stop playing games, whatever. But dude, it's so much fun. Just do it. Okay guys, thanks man. Again, I'm Draco, I run Infinity Collectors. Thanks for listening to me ramble, talking about why retro video games mean so much to me. Look forward to making more videos and doing some more collaborations. Thanks RetroStylz, and keep on gaming, man.
Man, Draco, that content was just so awesome. It was cool that you were able to share about how video games made such a huge influence on you, and your story was just amazing, and be able to edit that and to be able to check out your story is just amazing. So anyway, without further ado, I'm getting into mine. Why video games have such a huge influence on my life? Well, the thing is, I really don't have time to play a lot of video games, but you know, when I do, I attribute video games to family. My family, we play a lot of video games, but we do it together. We play Mario Kart, Mario Party, we do things together. It just kind of brings your family together, and it creates such a big, huge bond with you and your family. Believe it or not, it does. Board games, video games, collectibles, stuff like that, it kind of brings it all together, especially when the whole family is involved. It's just getting together as a family. Also, video games are a huge universal language. You can talk video games with anybody, and I'm not even kidding. So that's what influences me, is just families and friendships, like the one I'm doing with Draco today. We're building friendships, we're getting together, we're doing collabs, and it's awesome. And one of the main things that attributed to this today, and it's a real tearjerker to me, so I'm gonna get through this the best way that I can. Well, let's see how long ago that was. I was 10, so I want to say it was 1991 or 1992. Before that, my aunt, she was my dad's twin, she was into video games when Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari, all that was really huge. She would always have us at our house, and we were her favorite nieces and nephews, because that was my dad's twin, and they shared a really huge bond. You know, twins share a really huge bond together, and that's just the way it goes in life. Most twins do share a huge bond. It's all about family. It's all about being together. And so what she did was she'd invite us over to her house all the time. We'd spend the night. We played. My uncle wasn't a big gamer, but my aunt was. So, you know, they were married, so he shared that same passion, and it was awesome. She got me into playing video games, which was the Nintendo. Of course, Mario Brothers was huge. She'd take me to the arcades. There are not many arcades around nowadays, but she took me to those arcades, and we had a blast. Those arcades were huge. We'd have fun, and it was just something that we liked doing together. And you know, she was competitive, so she wouldn't let us win. She'd show us, you have to beat the person you're playing. You have to get greater at the game. So she showed us that you can't just play to let someone win. You gotta beat that thing. So it was pretty awesome. So we do that together, and then one day she bought the Super Nintendo. Huge. I remember playing Super Mario World in 1992, and we played that thing. Oh my gosh, it was around Christmas time, and we just played that thing forever. And I remember we still had a Nintendo, and we loved watching The Simpsons when we were kids. Maybe not so much of a family show, but it wasn't as crazy as it is now. And so she would invite us over. We'd watch Simpsons. We'd have fun. So she bought us Krusty's Fun House for Christmas for for Nintendo. And it was just awesome. And that was a game that we treasured. And my brother has it to this day, and it's okay. He has it packed away. We're not going to play it, open it. It's just a fond memory that we have. And so when I play that in Super Mario World, I think about her, because in 1993 she went home to be with Jesus because she had cancer. And playing video games just really attributed to my aunt, and it's a tribute to her because she was my favorite aunt. She's the one that got me into video games. So when I play games today, I always think about her, and I was thinking, what if my aunt was alive today? I'm pretty sure she would be a YouTuber. She would be blasting YouTube, playing video games. She'd be in her 50s playing games still, and I think it would be awesome. I'd be hooking up with her, playing games, chilling. She'd be on my YouTube channel. I'd be on her YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure that's the way it would go, and it would be pretty awesome. And she would be considered a retro gamer, but to her, it'd be something that we grew up playing, and so it was awesome. And that's what attributed to my playing video games, is because ever since she passed away, and I was like 10 and a half years old. So my thought was, wow, my aunt showed me how to play video games. I'm going to take that and invest it into myself, so later when I get children, I can invest that into them. Make a video game investment so that way they like it, get them excited, and it continues on for generations. Because how else do you expect someone to pass on a generation of video games? And sometimes it just fizzles out, and we can't do that. The video game industry is so huge that we teach them to create a camaraderie with their friends, teach them to make video games exciting for their friends, so it's just awesome. Again, I just want to thank Draco from Infinity Collectors for joining me today. It's always an honor to have you as my special guest on my channel. Thank you for that. And as always, my retro crew, you guys keep it real, keep it retro, keep it awesome. You guys be the most greatest and most amazing version of you today. And also, before I close, I want you guys to comment below. Let me and Draco know what attributed to your video game addiction. What brought you to where you're at today in playing video games? Comment below. We would like to know because we might feature your comment on our Instagrams or our Twitters. So let us know. Anyways, you guys keep it real, awesome, retro. Be awesome, be you. Have an amazing, amazing day.